What's up, everybody? I'm George Mossey. I'm here with Marshana Spavento. We're back. This is part two, 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, episode 6, season 6. And we're here with part two. So let's talk about Kalani and Asuelo. So Kalani sets up a meeting with her immigration lawyer, and she FaceTimes her dad, Lo, and they kind of discuss their options for if she decides to go through with divorcing Asuelo. And they learn some pretty terrifying information. So Lo knows that he signed on for 10 years of Asuelo being supported by him as part of the visa requirement. But we also learned that Donald Trump has signed some sort of law that makes it a lifetime requirement. So again, no one knows how that can be enforced because the paperwork you signed and notarized says 10 years. So changing that would be difficult and have a legal stance. But this just brings Kalani's dad back to his original opinion of they should just work it out.
You know, I'm very surprised, shocked to hear Kalani's father kind of be on the side of them staying together. He has never really been a fan of Asuelu, but I think that for him, his Samoan culture is coming out in the fact that now that you've made children with a person, and that is irreversible. You can never not be their mom. He can never not be their dad. You're here together. Is there a way to make this work on behalf of the children? I don't even think it's the fact that he would have to support Asuelu for a lifetime, possibly. I think that he's more along the lines of this is important now. Children are involved. So, you know, I just feel like I wish that they could find a way to work, but I don't know if it will. Kalani doesn't seem very interested in Asuelu. Asuelu runs hot, runs cold. This is painful for everybody, and I don't think that staying together for the sake of the children is a healthy option, but what do I know?
I agree with you. They don't seem to be, well, she reveals was they don't even sleep in the same room. And they don't spend much time together. He likes to play his games and do his own thing. And then the only time he goes to find her is when he wants to have sex. So I don't really see how this is a marriage. If anything, they're friends with benefits at this point. And I do feel, like you said, the culture situation is playing a big part in Lo's opinion because they don't believe in divorce. And then when you bring children into the world, you're linked together forever. So I just hope that they can either work it out or find a very good way to handle a divorce because, like we said, there's children involved, 2 small children, and this is going to be something they have to deal with forever. So Libby and Andre. So Libby is taking Andre. Okay, so Andre goes to work for 2 days. Start here. On his second day, Libby decides, I need a nanny because taking care of this baby is a lot of work, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, like, first of all, but neither of you really work much. Second of all, Andre hates the idea of a nanny. So bringing this situation into an already complicated situation, it's been 3 years. He's worked 2 days out of those 3 years. I wouldn't rock the boat to this point, and he's already working with people who basically would throw him off of a bus or in front of a bus if they had the opportunity. So I feel like adding anything extra to the situation is bad. And then her sister Jen's like, you should just hire a nanny and just not tell him.
Listen, I'm Team Jen. I'm team everybody but Andre. Actually, I take that back. I'm not Team Libby. Libby I used to feel bad for Libby in with Andre, but now I realize that she deserves him. They deserve each other. They are 2 messed up individuals who take advantage of people, who lie, manipulate, and backstab. I could never understand the attraction of this relationship, but now I do. When we see the previews for next week and we see, I think it's Becky or Jen, one of them calling Libby a two-faced backstabber. The way when she talks to Andre and the way that she talks to her family, it's not a bridge that brings unity. Okay, she is causing more division and more contention. Andre is narcissistic, chauvinistic. He is steeped in patriarchy, but he doesn't have a dime in his pocket. He doesn't even have the willingness in his heart to go into a working situation and be receptive. I'm going to remind Andre and Libby that in the beginning, from the onset, Chuck offered for Andre to come and work with him. But Andre said, no, I don't want a job with you. You're going to hold stuff over my head. And he was letting him, he couldn't even understand the gift of having a family, coming into a family that has a business that sustains everybody at a good level. The rest of us have to literally go out and look for a job. But Libby You had to go and get yourself a mail order husband because you wanted to be grown up like all the other girls in your family, all your other sisters who were married and had somebody, and you felt like you were being left behind. You wanted to be with the big girls and you wanted to feel grown up. So I can get married too and I can have a child too. Now look, y'all deserve each other. They are so messed up. Now I am waiting. I'm waiting for the fight. And I'm team whichever sister it is that's about to drag her and throw her off the boat. I am ready. Tell me the fight is next week.
I can't wait to see the fight, to see all of the families together on a boat. The first thing that came to me, first of all, I can't swim, so the first thing that came to my mind is, oh my God, somebody's going overboard. That was the first thing I thought, and I was like, that's literally what the preview said. And I can understand. Well, let me go back. I didn't understand why it was Libby and not Andre. I was like, all of their problems is Andre. Why wouldn't they just help Andre?
No, Libby's the backstabber. Libby's the one who brought this pestilence, this parasite into their family. Libby's the one who sits there and knows that this man is digging into her father's pockets every single opportunity that he gets, and she allows him to do it. If Libby took a different stance in the family, this wouldn't happen.
I agree with you, actually. So, all right, so let's move on because I could talk about Andre and Libby all day. Let's talk about
Jesus. I'm sorry. Okay.
Let's talk about Tiffany and Ronald. So after telling us last week that they were in a terrible place and that she wanted to get a divorce, she finds out that his visa is approved, and now she's super, super excited, and she's happy, and her relationship is back on track, and she can't wait for him to get here. Very, very contradicting. But it's short-lived news because she doesn't make enough to sponsor him, so she has to go and ask her used-to-be estranged father to sponsor her husband, I don't want to say deadbeat because he does have a job, but sponsor her husband, and she has a dilemma. So her mom tells her, look, don't tell your dad that he's a criminal and that he doesn't like to work. Keep that a secret. So I actually agree. I feel like if you want to get someone to do something, it's probably best to give them the least amount of information up front. And then once they agree to do what you want them to do, and the person is here, then you can share that information.
That is manipulation. That is what we call manipulation. And it is not just, it's not right. It's called lying by omission. It's good that he agreed, but she needs to give full disclosure, and he needs to make the decision with all of the information at hand. If he then still decides to do it, go ahead. But of course, Tiffany is happy that Ronald is finally possibly going to be able to come to the United States so that she can control him in person. She is super duper controlling. Now, she's not a malignant narcissist, but I see some narcissistic traits. Maybe not full-blown narcissistic personality disorder, but she married him for a reason. She is attracted to people that she can control, people that have to live under her thumb, people that have to do what she says, because she herself would not be the person who's comfortable being on the receiving end of that kind of control. So she wants to be the one who calls the shots. Poor Ronald. If he should make it to the United States, that marriage isn't going to last. But man, is it going to feel good to Tiffany to just emasculate him further. And she chose him. I'll always remind her that you picked your groom up from the rehab facility. Boom. Mic drop. Nothing else to say.
That's true. You're 100% right there. I still feel like she got the yes. So when she began to explain to him anything after that, she was just shooting herself in the foot.
Oh, I'm just shoot.
I mean,
you chose to marry the criminal. This is what comes with it. People aren't going to want to help you. You chose to marry a person with a gambling addiction. He's already relapsed in the 2 years since he's married. You chose to have a baby with him right away. 6 weeks into your marriage, you were pregnant. Like, these are just choices, and we live and die by choices. And she was an adult when she made these choices. She had already had a child with somebody who was not in the picture. And you choose again when you finally get the opportunity to get married and have a family unit, as opposed to having a baby and having a family are not the same thing. But when you have the opportunity to start a family, this is what you chose. You deserve every bit of it.
All right. On that note, we're going to end that. Tiffany and Ronald, I did see something on Instagram. I'm not going to bring it up, but if anybody goes on our Instagram, there is something going on, some drama on that. So if you want to learn about that, I will not disclose it, but there was something very interesting that happened this past week between the two of them. And on that note, that's the end of part 2. I am George Mossey. This is my amazing co-host, Marshana Spavento. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll put our Twitters and Instagrams at the bottom. Make sure you tweet us, live tweet the show every Sunday, and we will talk to you all very, very, very soon. Thank you so much.